Hey everybody, KingHulk here with another great episode of FetCast for you, episode 35. In this one I am interviewing Jaxamous and Investigatorcane. Great interview, lots of stuff in it. Honestly, I don't remember what we actually said in. I haven't actually edited yet. I'm running a bit behind schedule this week. Just want to thank everyone who listened to last week's episode with the live at the Baltimore Playhouse for the Mardi Gras event. And I do have a follow-up story with what happened on the ride home, but I'm going to wait to tell that story until 1 week when Bambi's on. That way she can, also share her thoughts on the events afterwards. Don't forget to check out our sponsors online, FlirtyWork.com and CentralDominationMistress.com. And also don't forget to check out the True King podcast. You'll be able to find them on iTunes, Stitcher, everywhere else that you can find us. Normally I want to keep talking and a bit of an intro going, but honestly I don't have anything to say this week. Been a hectic week, just gonna need to jump in and start editing this episode. So hopefully it turns out good. Maybe it's a train wreck, I don't know. Having mixer problems, I have to get the mixer repaired, so this episode's gonna sound a little bit different, as you can probably already tell from the intro here. And also, when I recorded this, I was still recovering from the sickness that I got after the Baltimore Playhouse, the cold. And I can already feel right now that I'm still not 100% yet back to normal with my voice. So, I'm sorry, I'm sick. I'm getting over it. I mean, this virus, I think it wiped out half the country with the number of people that got it. Show has to go on. Show must go on, and it will keep going on like it always has, regardless of equipment issues. As long as I still have a computer and at least one microphone to plug into it, the show is going to keep going on. So, without further ado, let's get to the show. Welcome to FetCast. I'm joined today with Investigator Kane. Investigator Kane.
With the sound effects.
And I'm trying to remember what you're into.
What do you mean?
Did it start with an I?
He's an investigator.
Oh, yeah.
My profession is I'm a private investigator.
Yeah.
It's the Investigator Kane.
No, I was talking about the Route 40 munch. Everyone did their little intro.
I'm into things that are
immoral. Yeah, I remembered it. You got there. You're immoral.
Yeah.
Trying to remember how you introduce yourself as. And you are?
Jaxamous.
And you're
People
a Joker.
Jokes, yeah.
I can remember stuff now.
You can.
I feel like
that was weeks ago. I'm impressed.
You don't have to talk so loud, by the way.
That's not so loud.
Yeah, a little bit too loud.
Louder.
You're
red line.
Do I still sound like I'm sick?
Awesome.
No, you're fine. Just don't talk so loud.
I just don't want to sound like I'm sick.
So yeah, we actually the first time that we met ever, me and you met, was at the Munch.
Yeah, the Route 40 Munch.
Which you were fashionably late for. Which is always nice.
Not my fault.
Yeah, but that's always a fun first impression when somebody's like, "Who the hell is this guy?" You know what I mean? So that was it.
It's okay. I told him lots of nice things about you, so he didn't think anything.
Yeah,
all made up, I'm sure.
Yeah. That nice, half circle penis curve you got going on there.
No.
Say that.
That's Governor.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
See, I talk about him because he's not listening.
No, but that was actually the first Munch I'd ever been to ever. So that was an interesting experience, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what I expected necessarily.
No one ever really knows what to expect.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed myself. It was really nice to, I don't know, what's the word I want to use? Let loose, if you will. I don't know.
I'm sure it was tamer than you thought it would be.
Well,
no, because she's been to Munches before. And
I mean, I didn't necessarily have any expectations in terms of the tameness. I mean, I assumed everybody was going to keep their clothes on, things like that. It was just a pizza joint. But I think that, I don't know, we are from the Midwest, and we almost went to a Munch once when we were living there in Indy.
Go Buckeye.
Yes!
He's a Buckeye.
Buckeyes!
That is quite an insult to me, sir. I am a Hoosier.
He's a Hoosier.
I'm
from Ohio.
My brother-in-law's a Hoosier.
Yeah.
He's a Hoosier. I'm from Ohio. He's from Indiana.
I'm from Indiana. But anyways, the community in the Midwest is nothing like it is here.
It barely exists.
Yeah.
A lot more sheep.
Yeah, sure. Cows, corn.
Corn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Rednecks.
We were talking about the bull semen earlier. Lots of bull semen.
Yeah, that was off Mike, I guess, the bull semen conversation.
Yeah, I think,
I'll tell the audience later.
Okay, yeah. But anyway,
reenact it. Get the turkey baster.
so we decided randomly that we were going to go to a munch because we wanted to start getting more active in the community. This was in Indy, which Indianapolis is the 13th largest state in the country. We assumed there was going to be a way.
Don't fact check that because it changes every year.
Yeah, that was back when I heard the statistic. But anyways.
Actually, it changes every time he talks about it. It's either the 13th or the 18th.
No, it's the 13th.
You always go back and forth, though.
I don't know. I don't know anymore. But anyways. So I joined the Yahoo group. And I don't even know if those things still exist anymore. But they met monthly, so we were going to get together, right? So we got all dressed up, got in the car, drove to where the munch was. It was at a Chinese restaurant.
On the south side of Indiana.
South side of Indianapolis. And we could see the munch crowd through the windows of the restaurant. And we literally took one look at the group and we said, nope, and turned around, drove away, went to the movies that night.
What did you see?
Okay, so that makes us sound like a bunch of assholes.
No, what do you see looking through the window?
We're not a bunch of... Well, they was like a
eating.
huge thing, but you could tell it was that group because they were all like in leather and chains and like just people were like
this
in
was
costume. And mind you, like there was not a single person, and I'm 30, you're a little younger than I am, 26. I remember that. He's 26. There was not a single person our age in there, and we're like, oh, this is not our clique. Like, we need to walk away. We're in trouble. We're being judgmental assholes, though.
Age-wise, I can see that being judgmental. Yeah. But dressed in leather and chains and all that, I would just say and be like, that's your first one, walking away.
Well, it's not necessarily that I'm opposed to any of those things. It's just the setting. I thought
your first time.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, I didn't want at that time to walk in and everybody like, oh, that's a BDSM clique. Because you could pick it out of the window that is who it is. So I don't know. I didn't know at the time that I wouldn't be.
Or a bunch of motorcycle enthusiasts.
No, I mean, when your chains have like floggers on them.
I didn't see a single motorcycle in that parking lot. But, unless they all got in their vans that day, I don't think so.
A little drizzly out, they didn't want to risk it.
Yeah.
I don't remember what time of year it was. But yeah, so that was my first attempt to foray into like the social BDSM community because, historically I'm a very private person and I've always been very private about being into the lifestyle. So... that was basically her finally talking me into going to something.
I like people.
Yeah, and it didn't turn out very well. So fast forward a couple years to us moving here, I was really busy with school and other things. And she was complaining because you hadn't made any friends at the time. So you decided you were going to get more involved in the local community. Yeah.
I can't tell work friends that I'm a slave. That would go over fantastically in the corporate America.
Yeah. So... she decided she would go to some things and then basically got to the point where she dragged me to one and, I decided I liked it a lot better than I thought I was going to. So
he gave it a chance.
Yeah.
Very challenging.
Well, it's like any other thing you do as an adult, just meeting new people.
Yeah, exactly.
You just know what you guys like in the bedroom.
Yep.
Oh, it goes far beyond that.
Yeah, well, we're, I guess for people who don't know, we're 24/7 master-slave dynamic. We've recently... I guess I would say 24/7 is a recent thing. We've been master slave.
I would disagree with that. It's not a recent thing. It's a reignited recent thing.
Well, yeah, we've tried it before, and just the circumstances in our lives weren't right at the time. But now I think we've been doing it for a while. It's working out really well for us. How
long have you been? I've been 13 years this year in the lifestyle.
I've been in lifestyle for 12 years since I was 14 years old.
You've always been a dominant.
Yeah, I've always been a dominant. Yep. I like to think of myself as... a phrase I like to call kink orientation. So I think, people are, gay, bi, straight, or whatever. And, there's a laundry list of sexual orientations. So if I didn't say your orientation, it's just because of my ignorance. I didn't know it existed. But anyways, does that sound really bad? I don't know.
That sounds terrible.
After I said that, I'm like, I don't think I might retreat from that statement. Either way.
Retreat.
Now you're backpedaling.
Yeah. Anyways, so since I have been... what I'm going to call sexually aware. I've always thought about sex in the context of BDSM. For me specifically, I think bondage is probably my favorite thing. So just to pull just a fun story from my childhood, I remember playing This was around when GoldenEye 007 was out for the N64. So that kind of time frame for people who know what that is. And
for the rest of you, we just don't know.
Just Google it.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
That's
like 4 Nintendo systems ago.
Yeah. But anyways, so we would go, there was a tree in my yard, and we would pretend like we were first-person shooting with sticks.
I don't think you should tell this story.
Let me finish my story.
I know what story this is. I don't think you should tell this story.
There's nothing inherently wrong about this.
Okay.
Everybody involved was of equal age. Anyways, so we wanted to do a kidnap scenario. So, and when I say we, I didn't mean a group of friends. I talked my group of friends into doing this because I wanted to tie a person up. So I talked to one of my friends who was actually a very effeminate guy, because we were all children at the time, but I wasn't friends with any girls. Girls were icky at the time. Even though I am straight, I just want to put another caveat on that.
What is that even?
I remember taking my garden hose, unscrewing it from the house, pouring out all the water, drinking some of the hose water. They had been sitting in the hose. And tying this friend up to the swing set next to my house with the hose. And I wasn't, sexually aware at the time necessarily, but I knew it was something that I found appealing. And I remember I don't remember if it was my mother or my father, but one of them came home and was like, "What the hell are you doing? Why is somebody tied to the swing set?" And that's as far as that memory goes. But that is about how long I have at least been aware that I was interested in things of that nature. So, I'm a terrible person, probably.
I still chalk that up as just innocent kid stuff.
Yeah, I would too. I would play cops and robbers with my brother and his friends. And
how old were you when you were making out with your friend in the closet?
Oh man, I was 6.
6, yeah. So
I was 6, and
she's more of a harlot than I am.
It was my brother's best friend, and we got caught in the closet, and he put a Band-Aid on my vagina. And then his sister.
Who?
My brother's best friend.
Okay.
My brother's best friend at the time. My mom and her best friend.
No relation to her.
No relation to me whatsoever. My mom and her best friend, really close. And then her kids were like a year older than me and my brother, but they were both boy and girl. And so I played with my brother's best friend sometimes, who was closer to my age, and he would play with her older daughter. So they were off playing, my brother and the other guy's sister. Does that make sense? And they came in and found us.
I heard the story. I'm a little confused on what's happening. You were playing with some friends.
Yes.
Your brother was in that group of friends?
No, he went off playing with the other guy, the guy that put the
You in no way kissed your brother?
No.
Okay.
No, I did not.
All right.
We also my first kiss was when I was 6 or 7 in the bar. We thought French kissing was just licking tongues, so we were like licking each other's tongue. It was really weird.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know what French kissing was forever. I remember I was in 5th grade, and a girl asked me what a blowjob was, and I had no idea, so I of course lied. I said, "Yeah, I know what a blowjob is," and she asked, "What is it?" So I thought it meant literally blowing in that genital area, which.
How'd that go for you?
If I remember that correctly, she agreed, so she must have thought it was the same thing. So, But I've interrupted your story of not incest.
It was not incest, though. It was not. He was just... Actually, he and I, we remained good friends for a long time, and there was a couple times where he and I had met back up.
That's how you dated him later.
I screwed his drummer of his band. No, the lead singer of his band in Nashville in, 2008.
She's a whore.
I am a whore. I like
At least it wasn't a bass player.
No, it wasn't a bass player. It was the lead singer. Which then I took you to go see it.
I play bass guitar.
He does play good bass guitar. You're right.
So I'm the bass player.
I do screw a bass player.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That's okay.
Our daughter plays acoustic guitar. But...
Yeah. So we've both been pretty, at least aware of. I don't know. What's an uncreepy way to say? Yeah, I was going to say you were what I would consider a late bloomer, quote unquote, into the BDSM.
He's nuts. He's drunk. Late bloomer? No, that's normal. You were a weirdo. That's what that was.
I like thinking of myself as a pure blood.
A pure blood?
Yep.
He's pure blooded BDSM.
Yeah.
I feel like we're at the cattle show and they're like marking in our cows and our steers. They're like, is this a purebred, born and raised in Ohio?
Yeah. Born and raised in Indiana. Thank you very much.
Ohio.
In a valley.
On farm.
Yeah. Me too. So
we have competitions for who's the
more redneck candidate, I guess.
Never seen this one before.
Yeah. This one happens in the Midwest. Who had a more rural upgrading? Who stood in more shit when they were shoveling?
And that is like a rite of passage as a child, like shoveling shit in the barn and like riding horses and going out on the tractors and
cussing things while you're fixing them. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm just hearing banjos right now.
It's wrong turn all over again.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, I've been, even though I'm relatively young, 26.
Yeah.
I've been in lifestyle, you know, since I've been sexually active.
Forever.
Yeah. So, you know, yes, I did say 14. So technically it was, I mean.
Are you going to out yourself about the collar space?
See, I don't know how much, I don't know how far I want to go into it, but I mean, effectively I was meeting women who were much older than me when I was 14.
But people don't know you.
Keep in mind,
he looks older.
I hit 6 foot tall in 7th grade. So now I'm 6'6". So I've always been taller, but I mean, I still can't grow a full beard. So I've always had kind of a baby face, I guess. And beautiful Hulk over here, he's got himself a nice, full, luscious mane going on there. So.
Yeah, dude, I got a family of birds living in.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time we do a live event, I end up sick after.
I tell you, it happens, man.
I'm going to become one of those asshole people, like whenever you go to conventions.
Mm-hmm.
Wash your hands first.
Oh, there's this. I remember.
Shake your hand.
Here's another geek moment for you. I remember when I used to go to Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments.
Oh, God.
Okay, so
I mean, interesting.
I'll have you know, I was quite a contender, sir, at the state level.
Serious contender.
Hey, I used to be pretty good at Magic.
Well, there you go. Okay, so we all have our vices.
Card game, not the. Although I used to do.
I do not
Magic
have a card
tricks, too.
game vice.
Okay. Anyways,
Unless it's
poker.
Anytime
Textile?
euchre. Anytime I ever went to one of those things, I always got sick. Every single time. They had them like every couple months. Every time I got sick. Ugh. Touching cards and a bunch of people with, let's say, medium to low levels of hygiene sometimes.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah. It is what it is, I guess. So, yeah, I think we started talking about lifestyle. Somehow we got on Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments and panties, so which often don't mix.
See, this is how my shows go. Just kind of, it's a conversation amongst common people.
Amongst common people. I like that.
Common, like...
Common, individuals.
I'm not above, I mean, like, you know what I mean.
Jesus.
I know.
Talk about
I'm
snooze.
so offended.
Peasants.
Peasants.
Actually...
I am King Hulk.
You are the king.
Yeah. So, where did you come up with your screen name for FetLife?
The second one I had?
Yeah, your current one.
The current one? Well, I made a decision a while ago because everybody uses their nicknames. Because my first screen name wasn't something I wanted people to call me, so I was like, well, I'm just going to go by
Butter
Jax.
Biscuit?
Because it's close. No, what?
I just thought that'd be funny.
What was the first?
The first one was Determined Slave 1, which I developed when I was really pissed off once. And I was determined to do something. I don't remember.
5 seconds before we started recording?
Yeah, I was like really mad. So that didn't go. So I changed it. But I had that point Jax is actually an old nickname. So I was like, I'm gonna have everybody calling me Jax, which is close to my real name.
You when I first met you on Collar Me,
which is now Collar Space, before we get in trouble for saying that. Is there some huge debate about
you
those
were
two
like,
websites?
I think Slave Jax was your screen name?
No.
Yes,
I was some bubbly thing.
Nope, it was definitely Slave Jax. I remember very distinctly, I remember her profile on that website was so unbelievably off-putting. Oh my God.
It was really bubbly and pink and had lots of asterisks.
Yeah, and then at the very end, it was basically like, I'm a bitch, deal with it.
That's what this one on FetLife is. It says bitch disclaimer at the bottom because I get abrasive, so.
That's what you call it.
Saying abrasive is me saying I'm a bitch in corporate America. Because when my bosses were like, you're kind of abrasive sometimes, I was like, yeah, I know, because you people are dumb. And it worked.
And then she went on to be CEO now.
Yeah. I'm taking a different career path. Anyways, so Jaxamous, I was rapping a song, because sometimes when I'm really bored at work, because I sit in my office and I do a lot of really repetitive task.
So you
so I was creating a rap song about being famous in my head.
How'd it go?
I don't remember.
Damn.
But it was something about, I wanted to say famous in it, and it was when Kanye was being a douchebag most recently, so I was like trying to...
I think what's funny, even saying most recently doesn't narrow that down at all.
I don't
when
know
he
what...
first was like talking about his $53 million he was in debt and shit.
Yeah.
That was like a week ago, wasn't it?
I know, yeah. No, that was a couple weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. It had to be before we had that.
No, maybe it wasn't that then, because I changed my screen name like 6 weeks ago.
Just go with it. Just go with it. It sounds good.
I was rapping and I was making these things. Like, I wrote a whole song about what I do to the Tomorrow song in Annie, and it's on my computer at work. It's like a parody.
You gotta mail that to me.
Yeah.
It's really tough. Because at work we take songs, and I sing at work as part of our AC/DC choir, which is a play off of Delaware's government site that you use in the back end. But this group and I sing, like, we did Seasons of Cues, which is actually Seasons of Love. During Christmas we sing it, so I made one to Annie, but then I was like, I'm gonna make one about myself. So I was using the word Jax, and I was trying to think of a new screen name, and I wanted to rap with the word famous, so I was like, Jaxamous.
Yo, I'm Jax. I'm famous.
I thought you like Mickey Mouse or something.
No.
I was way off.
No.
When I first heard it, I thought it was like some kind of Roman thing. Because it sounds like Spartacus.
It is not that intelligent at all.
Okay.
It was just me being an idiot, and I was like, I like it, so I went with it.
Well, that's a better story than my screen name. My screen name...
So really it's Jaxamous?
Jaxamous.
Go with Jaxamous.
Jaxamous, that works too. I was really nervous about changing it too, because it was after I'd listened to that episode where you guys were talking about how the 28-day thing, like on FetLife, like you can only change it once every 28 days. And I was like, fuck, I have to commit to this for 28 days? I don't like this.
Wait, what was it right before that?
Determined Slave 1.
Because I never remembered anything else besides your current one.
I think I changed it probably right before I met you.
Oh.
I think right before I met you. I don't remember.
Well, that's a better story than what mine is. Mine is literally... I just, let me preface this a little bit. I've only recently became active in the social media community at all. When I met her, she pressured me into getting a Facebook page. I didn't have a Facebook page at the time, and we've been together for over 7 years now, so this kind of dates it. And so what happened was she set up a Facebook page for me and sent me the login information. So that
was so I could connect with him and say that I had a boyfriend on. Yeah. I wanted to make the Facebook official.
So what did you do when you joined FetLife a little bit after? You set up a profile for me, put nothing on it, asked me what a cool screen name was. We decided on Investigatorcane.
No, that's not how that happened. I literally said, how about Investigatorcane? You were like, yeah, sure.
We decided on Investigatorcane. That's
Is that us deciding on that? Okay, now that we're clear.
And then it's Investigatorcane. So that's it.
And you're an investigator, and you love that fucking cane.
Yep. I like to meet people. What can I say? Where are you going, Kitty? Get out of here. Shoot.
Say hi, Edison. Say hi to everybody. Kiki. Hi.
But yeah, so that's our
heard your story about KingHulk.
Yeah.
Hello.
So I have a question in regards to your Hulkness.
Oh, no.
Do you have a giant green erect dildo?
Only if I dye my penis green.
He's thought of that one.
Okay.
No, I do not.
Okay. So somebody's going to have to take care of that for you because you need... I'm talking Hulk size penis.
Somebody wants food.
You can call it the backbreaker.
Ooh. Can I play with that one?
No.
Oh.
You have my fist, which is pretty large.
That's true. Lots of fun, too.
Have you ever actually did the, I think it's called the stranger, when you let your hand go numb and you masturbate? No. I've never actually done that
I'm sorry, that's a thing?
Yeah,
that's it. I don't think anyone actually does that.
I'm convinced nobody's ever actually did that. Because it's just like a
I don't like the feeling when my hand goes numb in general.
Exactly.
I won't have enough control to do that.
I'd
have to take my numb hand, put it on my cock, and manually move the fingers.
I just imagine it would feel more like essentially a corpse because it wouldn't have any kind of, But
This is awkward. Is this what things men think of when they're masturbating?
I always
Like,
ask,
wonder how
whenever I
it
meet
feels
somebody
different.
who's a man and I get to a certain level of knowing them, I always
Can a woman like numb her hand and then?
My hands have gone numb
Just
during our
flop them down there.
bondage stuff before.
yeah, but
Yeah, but then I lose complete, like, you have to hit certain spots. Like
exactly, you don't have any dexterity. So yeah, well yeah, on the subject of I've never actually masturbated in the shower either. Now that I think about it.
pussy on my lap.
Really? I think everyone has.
I have a pussy. I do it in the shower all the time. It's the only time I get some
I've
damn
tried
privacy.
it before, but I don't like it. Nope.
I think the last time I did that, I was like in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he has like a system, like about everything. If we haven't figured that out yet, he has a system for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't get to his system in the shower. Like,
What's
No,
the system?
no. See, when
I gotta know what it is.
when I'm in the shower,
I
I'm
already know what it
there
is.
to
I'm
take
like,
care of business, not. I have a certain order I do things in.
Yes.
I do the same thing every time I get in the shower, same way. Make sure everything
and he
is
cannot
done.
deviate from it either. It's really funny. Like, if he doesn't have the
But-
exact amount of time he needs, he doesn't.
Do you have like deep salt time scheduled into that? Because
I do.
Well, that's why everything is set up in a schedule in the shower. Because that way I don't have to think about what I'm doing. I can just automatically do it in muscle memory, so I can get some thinking done while I'm in there. See.
like I do a lot of writing, and when I'm doing a lot of writing, there are times when I've taken like 3 to 4 showers in one day.
Yeah.
I need time to think about the story. I'm just taking a shower, just thinking about it, figure out what I'm doing, then go back to writing.
I do my best.
Oh, I don't do that much thinking. In the
I do
shower.
my best thinking in the car because I do a lot of driving for work. So I'll be listening to something
Stalker.
or reading an article. Well, I won't be reading an article while I'm driving.
You'll be reading a ticket.
Yeah. We'll have to have a conversation with all the run-ins I've had with the cops over the years. So just like
Legal run-ins, not bad things.
yeah, I'm a private investigator. But just like the other day, I was driving in the car, listening to a podcast, and I had an epiphany. I was like, yes! And it was something that, most of the epiphanies I've had, they're often like obvious things, but you're close to figuring out, but you're not quite there. And just something about driving in the car gives me that extra creative push to get me over the edge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty good about, I usually don't get writer's block. Like I can usually do what I call vomit on the page, which is just basically, get anything that's in my brain out there and pick and choose from that.
And that's how I get a lot of typos in all my writing.
Yeah, that same thing happens to me. Yep.
You didn't have that in that one thing I read.
That one thing. With
Which one?
The first one, drink.
Oh. Really? I should have done it that one.
I don't remember. It's been a while since I wrote it. I have another one that I had to write.
But yeah, like something I had a hard time writing though was my About Me section on my FetLife profile.
Yeah, you pondered over that.
I pondered over that for a couple days, actually. Yeah, because something about like if your profile is bad, then I think on that type of site it really it's off-putting to people if that's the first interaction they give to you. I think first impressions are very important, and if your first impression you give to somebody is just a shittily thought-out profile, then
Everybody's going to start writing the profiles over again.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying that anybody's here's is shitty or anybody's out there in the world is shitty. I'm talking about like maybe. Well, I guess I'm going to call some people out. If you don't even have a picture, you don't have any information on your profile at all, and you're also 95 years old and you live on the moon,
Yeah.
but you're an actual person and not a business or something, then you might want to fill it out a little bit.
Yeah, when I find a profile where it's like blank, I kind of grade it on a curve. I'll then look at their timeline, see if maybe they just opened it and are still exploring because
You have a
it could be
grading
completely
system?
new. I do.
In your head, I mean.
Yeah, in my head, it's like I look into it kind of like, okay, there's no about me, there's no picture. All right, they've joined groups because a lot of times I see that and all they've done is join groups. It's like, okay, they're in the phase where they're seeing what the site is, looking around.
You've thought about this a lot harder than I have then.
But then when I see the ones that are blank and their entire timeline is just love this picture, love this picture, love this picture, they're
just
just
there
on
for
there to
porn.
jerk off.
Yeah. Well, got to get it done, I guess.
For the porn.
But when I see someone like start commenting in threads that aren't, personal ad threads, usually at that point, that's when they do have the full profile. Usually, I said.
No, that just hit me.
No, I think that I don't know, the fact that FetLife is more of more akin to Facebook than anything is to like a normal dating site.
Well,
and it's not really intended to be a dating site.
Yeah. Who made that clear?
Yeah.
This is not
I know, and I do the same thing when people complain. Like, it's not.
Exactly.
Like,
it's a social network.
They go out of their way to make sure people can't even inadvertently use it as a dating site.
Yeah.
But so in my opinion, then it becomes even more crucial that your profile is filled out because, I mean, with a dating sites are often just used for a quick screw, so you don't want to know the person's life story, and you really just want to know what they look like and are the body parts the kind of body parts you like, and do they like to do with their body parts what you like them to do with their body parts, and you just go and do that stuff with their body parts. Exactly. But when I'm interacting with somebody on a social situation, I think a lot of people would agree, you're sometimes more picky because you don't want to waste valuable time if you're busy like I am interacting with people socially who are just there to masturbate to pictures. You know what I mean?
That's what I like about munches. The masturbators aren't there.
Well, they're in the corner at least, That's
observe it.
Nothing wrong with, being a voyeur.
Yeah.
That's
No, that's not what I meant. I meant him turn around in the face, facing the corner, just masturbating in like a pizza joint. Like, oh God, I love those pies. Oh my God.
Wait, did you just refer to pizza as pie?
That's a joke, yes.
I gotta leave.
They don't refer to
There are
pizza.
two kinds of people in the world. Those that call pizza, and those that call it pie.
Yeah. They don't call pizza pie where we come from.
No, they don't have. They have different pizza where we come from.
Maybe that joke was about that person also happened to be the kind of person that liked to call pizza pie. Just saying.
The only time you call pizza pie is if you're using pizza pie.
Pizza?
Wait. What am I drinking?
Semen filled birch beer.
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing.
No, what am I drinking here? What would it be classified as?
Oh, pop.
Oh,
pop.
Son of a bitch.
We are true Midwesterners.
Are you pop people? It is soda.
No, it's not soda. That's weird. That's hilarious.
I interchange
You kept hinting, what am I drinking? What am I drinking?
I'm like,
What the hell are you talking about?
birch beer?
So that whole semen-filled comment is going to seem hilarious out of context, isn't it? Because they have no idea what we're talking about.
I am drinking white birch beer, which is something I did not know existed.
I remember when I was in high school going to the bowling alley, which is probably the last time I went to a bowling alley, and 'cause I'm a terrible bowler. But anyways, when they turn like the what's it called? It's like a purple light.
Black light.
The black light. Yeah. And it kind of makes it turns
White
turns white like weird.
Yeah.
So like I was dating a girl at the time, and she had like this weird stain on her shirt. She was like, "Oh, it's laundry detergent."
Liars.
Yeah.
Last time I was in a black lit place was the strip club the night of my wedding. Yeah. To my ex-husband.
Not to me, yeah.
Not to my ex-husband, the night of the wedding. And I had on these high-heeled shoes that were like slip-ons, and they had white leather on top. And they did this like funky weird glow. So like everybody was talking about my shoes. They were so weird.
Have I seen those before?
I don't even think I owned them when I met you.
Okay.
But yeah.
Interesting.
No.
I don't think a strip club is a place where they should have black lights.
Oh yeah, it was really strange to have a black light in that place, but hey, whatever.
I don't. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just an old Midwestern country.
It was a strip club in Fort Wayne, Indiana, mind you. So
even the idea of a strip club is just kind of gross to me. I don't get it. I don't get what the benefit of not being able to touch is. So I'm not a voyeur. If you're a voyeur, please explain that to me. Because there's boobs. I enjoy them. And I want to touch them. I'm making a squeezy motion with my hand right now.
I don't know. Maybe some people just like the idea of it's right there in front of them, but they can't touch it.
Some people like that. It's a huge turn on.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong
I'm not saying there's anything inherently wrong with it. I'm saying I don't understand.
You don't understand it.
Yes.
I don't understand the money aspect of it.
Exactly.
When I went there, and which was probably the last time I was at a strip club, and it was more like a lot of drunkards, and they were just partying, and there just happened to be naked chicks walking around. Like, they were pouring shots down my throat. They were pouring shots down my husband at the time's throat. And my best friend, my maid of honor, was with us, and she's a lesbian, so she was loving it. She was getting drunk off her ass. Like, it was just a lot of drinking.
What a classy.
Yeah, I was such a classy babe back then.
Wow.
We have learned very quickly living here, everybody fucking knows everybody. It is so weird. Like, I get it. We're from small communities where everybody knows everybody, but, like, people in my small town aren't going to know the people in his small town. And, like, here, it's like you can be from one small town and know everybody in the other small town.
Everyone's my Eskimo brother.
Yeah. Delaware's got that going for him.
Well, and everybody's... Because of that, I think... It was interesting when we first moved here to the East Coast. The people here have very interesting opinions about things that I just didn't know existed.
They freaking let you know very quickly. Like, and what is with everybody saying, like, I walk by my colleagues in the hallway and, like, I'm a happy person. I'm going to say, hi, how are you? Up here, no, you get, like, straightforward stares. Nobody even says hello back to you. I'm like, well, fuck you, too. Like,
I think that's everywhere now.
Where we're from, you say hello, you tip your hat on the side of the road. You say
pass
hi.
Somebody on the side of the road and you're tipping your hat to them.
And you better give them one of these.
Yep, damn straight. And where I come from, if you were to road rage somebody like some people do here, that person you road rage is liable to get out of their truck and shoot you. Because
they probably have the guns right behind them anyway,
So, yeah.
Around that little in-car gun rack.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, my dad had one. My brother had one.
I mean...
but you were saying something about people...
Well, people on the East Coast, like, where we come from, people on the East Coast have, I would almost say, a reputation for being gruffer, angrier.
Yeah.
We have a lot of shit we got to deal with out here in the Atlantic.
Yeah, sure.
You do. And now, is this technically considered the Mid-Atlantic? Like, when do you hit the East Coast portion of it? Or is it all the East Coast?
This is the East Coast.
But this is the Mid-Atlantic portion of the East Coast, right? I don't know where I live.
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
North, I don't know.
I don't either.
I mean, like, so... The reason why I was so surprised when I went to that first munch here is because I expected all the people there to behave in that way, because whenever all the jobs I've had while I've lived here, almost every person who worked there had like this gruff kind of attitude. So I was surprised that everybody was as
shitty jobs,
open and as nice, if you will. I mean, I've worked jobs where, I mean, like the people wouldn't even say hi to you, and you saw them every day. What a fucking asshole.
Well, I think a lot of it is if you're part of this lifestyle, everyone kind of has that kind of...
understanding?
Yeah. The gruff people wouldn't be into this shit.
Oh. That's true. I don't know. He's pretty freaking gruff, but...
What I was trying to bring around to was that the BDSM culture was surprisingly more open here than I expected it to be. I had just assumed, incorrectly, that it was going to be as off-putting as it was in the Midwest, or as gruff, road ragey, flip your middle finger, as a lot of drivers here are. Yes.
Hey!
Okay, maybe your driving sucks, because I haven't gotten the bird.
Well, I drive a lot for work, but as my boss says about driving, sometimes you just got to be a dick.
Okay, so when he first was told this in a training, he has used that line
to be a dick every time.
That's gotta be a dick.
And he won't be on a case, and it'll be like me and our daughter in the car, and he'll be like, hey, sometimes you just gotta be a dick. And I'm like, that's not an excuse!
That's a great advice, though, for a person in a dominant role. Actually, I think of it in a lot of ways.
If you're new to the lifestyle, sometimes you just gotta be a dick.
Yeah. Hey, you're laying down the law, man.
Remind me not to have you teach any.
What did you think that the lifestyle community was going to be like over here? I mean, were your expectations any different?
Well, I don't know if I really had any expectations. I noticed very quickly that there were a lot more people here. A lot. Like,
Poly's a bigger thing here,
Poly's a huge thing. Being more open about it is a huge thing around here. There's more fat lifers probably in Delaware than there is in Indiana.
I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
I think it has a lot more to do with this state is a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Because I can see it being crappy out where you guys are from. Because I'm just picturing, like, you got to drive for a half hour before you get off the farm property.
but
We
dude,
actually moved here from Indianapolis. So.
I don't know. I'm
big
just
cities,
picturing people got to drive.
So,
Yeah.
We,
That's where I'm originally from.
we keep bringing back to this, but when I grew up, we were in the bottom of a valley, so much so that you couldn't get radio reception from anything other than the local town radio. Okay? So...
Terrible cell reception, too, at your grandmother's house.
Yeah, oh yeah. But back to the poly thing. I mean, that was one thing. I mentioned it offhand. That was one thing. Another thing that really surprised me about the East Coast BDSM community was the fact that poly is way more common here than it is there.
It's more accepted, too.
You want to talk about finding a unicorn here? You're finding a unicorn on another planet in Indiana if you're looking for a second slave or something like that there. I mean, it is... I don't know if it's maybe a more monogamous-oriented culture. That would be my prediction. But the idea of...
It's the Bible Belt, Nicholas.
I don't think a single person I dated before I met you, as I'm looking to KingHulk, no, I'm just kidding. A single person... I don't think I ever met a single person who was even bisexual. And I dated for years before I met you.
Really?
Yes, not a single person who at least openly admitted it to me. Not a single person who ever wanted to have a threesome. Though I was in a situation a few times when I did that, but it never. I mean, people were just a lot more. It seemed like everybody there who was online looking for somebody who was looking for a strictly monogamous relationship. They were looking for somebody who wanted to pair with them just as a twosome for the rest of their lives. And when you come here, it seems like, you guys are passing them around like,
Oh,
even
oh my God!
I'm not talking about I'm not talking about just, I mean, like,
It's okay to be insulted.
Even the dominant
I'm insulted.
There's a lot of, what's a fun saying? Dipping your toes in someone else's pond. There's a lot of that here.
Your toes in someone else's?
Like this girl, she used to date him, but now she dates him or her.
Well,
and they dated this person, and they used to be a threesome or a triad, and they used to have a group. And she used to be in his harem for a while, but now it's if this was Kentucky, and you guys would probably all be related. That's how close knit this community is.
Oh my God!
Well,
let's take a step back.
I think you broke me.
I broke you?
It's still recorded, right?
Yeah.
I thought you were stopping. No, keep this shit going.
What's the problem?
Okay. Investigator Kane is known for his unpopular opinion.
No, I tell it like it is now. I see things, I observe things for a living. I have a unique perspective on the world. And you said it yourself. I'm using your own words against you. This is a close-knit community. And with a small population size, it's inevitable that you guys are there's going to be some overlap.
There is going to be some overlap.
I just said a lot more colorful.
I guess it's just not that. I don't find it like that to me, though. Like, I don't know where that came from.
I don't know where the whole passing around one came from.
Well, now there's definitely some of that. But I'm saying, I'm talking about more like there's a lot more relationship overlap. It's not as many what I would consider like social cliques where this group of people kind of stays to themselves and doesn't engage with the community at large. There's more of, with such a small amount of people, it's more likely that if this person is with multiple people, that there's going to be some overlap. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't think in the kink community in general, that's going to happen because
it's such a small community.
I'm saying that's not true though. That's true here, but from where I come from, that is not the kink community.
But you guys weren't really that involved in that.
True, that's true. So we don't really know.
Back when I was actively dating before I met her, I would say I was, but I wasn't involved in it from a social aspect. I wanted to get laid. And the women who I was seeking out almost always tended to be people who were interested in only one-on-one monogamous situations.
But I will say this, when you were looking for people and we, back in when we met, the place to go was Collar Me, which is now Collar Space.
Yeah,
and it's like a personal ad. It's like a personal ad for BDSM, and it's free if anybody's looking for that. Spammers galore. Fair warning.
Oh, yeah.
But it was more like here you can drive half hour, 45 minutes and probably find a good amount of people that are into it. There, you needed to drive like 2-3 hours. Like I drove only like an hour to meet you. But no, it was Richmond, and I came from Salina.
When I lived in Indy, we were a good 3 hours from each other.
Well, yeah, but that was after we already met. But my point is,
people around here ain't going to drive more than an hour.
I've heard podcasts where people are complaining driving from Dover to Wilmington. I'm like, are you kidding me? I've driven 4.5 hours to meet with somebody.
He's had people come from New York to meet him in Indiana.
Yep.
Like, and I have driven to
all over Hillside
Baker, but I like to drive around a lot. But my point is that when you're making those long distance drives, like something huge, you're looking for a long distance relationship. That type of commitment, you're looking for something more personable and not. You're looking for like a one-on-one. Let's get this started thing, not like.
Well, I think. I mean.
Not like a play party, I guess.
There's probably not as...
That's what
I mean, you're just less likely to... And quite frankly, you're less likely to drive 4 hours only to, like, have a coffee with somebody. Like, that first meeting has a lot more investment in it. You know, usually, I mean, typically you talk online for, like a month or something. But, just to get schedules aligned to where you can actually both drive for that long a period if you're farther away. I met with girl from Detroit once, and from where I was, I mean, we both had to drive for about 2 hours to meet each other. So there's just more investment. And at the time, I was in college. I've told people this before. At a certain point, I absolutely required that first couple meetings you had to go Dutch. And if you don't know what that, if you don't know what that means, is I paid for my food and she paid for her food because I was broke and I had way too many times where I ended up driving and they ended up driving and it was just a dud. And when you think about, especially when I decided that I was looking for something more committed, then that was just an investment wasted. And now I can't meet other people because I spent all my money on a dud. I mean, that's just how I thought about it.
I'm glad I wasn't a dud.
Yeah. I see your point.
I mean, I'm not trying to sound like an ass here.
No, you're not, because Mr.
He does pick up the tab now.
Mr. Tall Tower, I don't remember if it was...
Share money now, son. Come on.
Sorry.
Mr. Tall Tower, I don't remember if it was when he was on the episode or not, or it was just a conversation him and I had before. But he was talking about dating apps, and if he starts talking to a woman and she wants to meet, and she immediately suggests a restaurant.
That was on the
Yeah, I remember that story. Yeah.
I remember this too.
It's like... He's like, she's just looking for a meal.
Yeah.
I get that.
I'll tell you what, though, it never once occurred to me that a person would actually do that to somebody.
If I was a chick, I'd be doing it every goddamn day.
I never did that to people.
Wow, man. That is just so...
I like to entertain, though, and I like to be the person to take care of someone, so I don't think I...
There's many times, though, you've told me stories through your past about how you drove like 3 or 4 hours to meet somebody, and they took you out in a nice town, they bought you some nice things, and then you basically pity fuck them because you
I only said that once, and I drove all the way to Vermont.
The fact that even happened, though, is a situation of note.
That's true.
He treated you so well, and you were so not into him.
I wasn't into him.
That you were basically effectively guilted into
and I didn't know how to say, don't give me your shit, other than please don't give me your shit.
Don't give me these nice things.
Oh, God, he gave me a lot of stuff. And I felt terrible, so I thought...
Good, you should.
I felt terrible. At least I had a heart still. I don't have a heart anymore. It's just ice.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what I get to deal with. But I mean, what's the farthest amount you've ever had to travel to meet somebody for an encounter, let's say, of any kind, BDSM context?
When I was in, BDSM context?
Yeah.
Shit.
Let's narrow it down. We're all kind of whores at the table, so.
The look on your face.
I would have to say 40 minutes.
40 minutes, okay.
Oh, man, I've driven really far before.
And that was from Dover to where Nightingale lives.
So, yeah. So, exactly.
But when I was in college and wanted to get laid, I was living in Philly. I had to take the subway, the train, then transfer. Because I went up to really up far north New York to meet a chick. Well, didn't get laid either.
You're lucky you even had the option of public transportation. Most of the towns in the Midwest don't have that option. So,
public transportation is like an everyday thing here. Back where we're from, everybody had vehicles or tractors, or lawnmowers.
Yeah, when I was living in Philly, I'd have no problem Hi, can we meet you? All right. How far away from like a train stop are you?
Yeah.
And that's a normal thing, but to us, that's still very foreign. Like, we were talking about this summer going up to New York or down to D.C. or something.
And taking the train, yeah.
And taking the train, and like, that's a new experience for us. Like, we've never done that before.
I want to drive.
Just drive?
Yeah, don't
Don't do it.
There you go. Well, I don't know. I think our kid might like it, but...
Yeah, but DC's a shithole.
Well,
We're tourists.
A car is safer.
well
I guess that makes sense.
I'm usually not too worried about
Take
safety.
the car.
But anyways, yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting because, you know, when you're in a BDSM community, you don't realize how much of the local culture is represented in that local community. And people tend to, I think, make the incorrect assumption that my little neck of the woods is like every other little neck of the woods. And there's a lot more separation between cultures in BDSM community than what people give credit for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is.
I mean, I was listening to
It's a whole new world.
a podcast the other day, and they were talking about like the history. I said that really freaking strange. The history of
The story.
The story.
Not the
Historical.
yeah.
The
Anyways,
story of.
history of the
Same
gay,
idea.
like BDSM leather culture post World War II. And what he was talking about was the culture on the West Coast was completely and totally different from the culture on the East Coast, which is, I think, pretty obvious to most people, you know. But what people don't understand is that's also going to be different from the culture in the southern states, culture in the Appalachian Mountains, culture in the Rockies, culture in the Midwest, you know, and that trickles down to BDSM as well. So, I mean, you know, some of the things that are done where we live now in Delaware are just, you know, sometimes just kind of strange to me.
Like what?
I don't know, the poly thing was, I mean,
He keeps going back to that.
and not that I'm not anti-poly, and you know, the idea is attractive to me, but it was the way I had viewed it previously was that was a rare occurrence in the lifestyle. That was a rare occurrence in culture. And here, I would say it's the exact opposite. It's rare to be monogamous. So much so that when I first discovered you, you know, discovered your stardom. I'm taking a picture of your beautiful face right now. And I went back and watched, or I listened to all the podcasts, all FetCasts from episode 1. And I listened to all of them. You know, there were certain times where I could just tell that you, as a group, thought about poly in a way that I just never thought existed.
I have a question. Do you consider it poly?
Just well, a second. I want all listeners to know she just rose her hand.
Well, we're talking.
I know, but
we can see each other.
for nobody else does that hold any benefit. Just
See, that's how my show goes. We forget about the mics and we're just
That's
talking.
right.
You know what? Yeah, more
So
power
I
to
have a
you.
question. Do you consider it to be poly if, like...
You don't have to yell. I'm right here.
Do you consider it to be poly if, like, you're at a play party and somebody else plays with me?
I don't consider that.
Or I volunteer to take part in something like that?
But that was, when I said the passing around, that was kind of a crude way of referring to that concept.
That makes more sense to me now.
Because-
So, like, if I went to a Baltimore Playhouse and decided to, like, spend time with Cross, like, on being whipped by Cross, would that be poly? Would that make us poly? No, I didn't think so either.
No,
I don't think that's poly. That's just me experiencing different things.
Yeah.
Which I've seen him work, and he's a magical man, but...
That interferes with my territorial instinct.
Well, yes, that's never going to happen for anybody who's interested.
I feel my testosterone starting to bubble up in my veins as you're talking about playing with people.
I'm just using myself
Where's
as an
that gun
example.
I was talking about earlier? I got to get the shotgun out here.
I was just
Anyways.
using myself as an example, but that's what you mean by people, like, crossing over?
Yeah, that is totally
That's not-
foreign to me as a
I don't
culture.
think that's
That's not
poly. I don't think
poly
that's
at
crossing over.
all.
They're not having
Yes,
sex with
I've
me.
already conceded that it's not poly.
But I don't think
You
it's
did say
passing
that.
around either, because it's not like I'm having sex with those people. I'm just experiencing
Playing
it.
around.
Anyway.
Yeah, you guys were both attacking me for my views.
Yeah. Because,
Yeah, we were.
like, when the first time I went to Baltimore Playhouse, Nightingale, she got suspended because she never did rope suspension before. I don't do it. We don't have the means to do it. Mm-hmm. But we wanted to, you know, kind of see what it's like. So he took her, and I was there the whole time, and, you know, she was still dressed and everything. Just, well, no, I think she was topless. But anyway.
Anyway. What the hell does this have to do with what we were talking about?
Hold on.
Okay.
Anyway,
bring it back.
so
I know where he's going.
She got suspended on it, you know. She learned it really wasn't for her. She didn't like it because it started pinching in too much. So that was an experience where she learned, like we both learned about rope suspension, not really our thing, not really her thing. But that wasn't anywhere near what poly is because, you know, it was... A lot of it is, like, when you're doing so with people, sometimes it's about just learning. Like, that's how before we got into it, I never would have thought we would have done anything with electrical play. Then we were at a party, someone had a violet wand, and we just dicked around with it, and hey, we like violet wand. Okay. So... I mean,
like I said before, I agree that that's not poly.
I don't think that's crossing over either.
What I'm saying is, for me, and the cultural
into somebody else's
environment that I grew up in, just the idea of a man doing that type of thing with another man's woman is foreign to me. That's just not something that happened. You know what I mean? When I say I grew up in a more monogamous culture, I'm serious. Like, I mean, you know, that's just the whole idea. I mean, when you were to go to a learning experience for BDSM, it would be more like lecture focused. Or maybe like a volunteer, like, hey, let's come up. But nobody would, like, I would think it would have to be a pretty special situation for something like that to happen in the Midwestern environment I grew up in. And I'm not saying that I don't enjoy the change in culture that I found here. Yeah. I am saying I do enjoy that change and the fact that it's a lot more open and there's more of a free exchange of things, if you will. Yeah, and ideas and openness and so on and so forth. So.
Yeah, that goes back how you're talking about how different cultures are different.
Yeah. I think it's enlightening, and I think I totally by far jumped headfirst in it compared to you. But
I totally agree.
I think it's something that's...
I mean, I've personally went from being like, you know, on the down low to the point that I was in, but so far in the closet about the fact that I was in the BDSM, I was in freaking Narnia. Okay? That's how far back I was. And now... You know, just because of the openness of the little community, you know, I'm starting to toy with the idea of being more open about it myself and being a little bit more, what's the phrase I want to use? I don't want to say the word loose. More free-flowing about...
Those words were accompanied with a dance.
Yeah, you're getting on her for raising her hand.
Yeah.
You're doing a truffle shuffle over there.
Yeah.
I was being polite.
You know, but yeah, I mean, just the idea of having, like I won't lie, like there's a part of me that when you hug her, well, I want to go, you know what I mean?
Even though he knows it's strictly platonic and friendship.
Have I hugged you?
Yeah, I had a couple of places like goodbye and stuff. Hello, but
like when a guy.
No, you're fine.
I'm not. That's fine. When a guy looked at my grandmother wrong, my grandfather would get up from the seat in the restaurant and go say something to him. Like that's the kind of atmosphere I'm talking about. Like even a cursory glance that in a rude way at another man's woman, I know that implies a owning kind of environment because
that's what
it was. Yeah, but that's not the relationship they had, but that's still the culture. Then it would have been the male's job in that situation to go and, you know, if he had to take him out back to the woodshed, he would have.
Don't get me wrong, there are times when, you know, I'm in relationships with people and like someone gave Bambi a hug. Mm-hmm. There have been times when I've been in my head going 1, 2, 3, release.
Yeah, you know.
I've done that too. All right, that's a little too long. I get very territorial too.
Exactly. So I think coming from that super territorial environment where you protect your own and, you know, almost like a pride type atmosphere to, you know, hey, let's take our pants off. Woo! That's whole different for me. Oh my God, no, let's keep our pants on.
I had cute underwear on. I take my pants off.
Keep your pants on, lady. But yeah, so I think I've adequately defended my position with...
It's been a lot clarified now.
It is more clarified, but less like, I fucking hate everybody. But
I'll be interested to hear what I said before, because irregardless of what I said before, that is what I meant, but I said more recently.
Irregardless isn't a word.
I'm going to make it a word. I'm going to write into Webster and be like...
So flammable and inflammable would mean the same thing.
True.
That bothers me.
It does bother. Yeah, that's weird. So yeah, I mean, you know, I'm just a backward country boy. And, yeah, in the big old city of the East Coast, I guess. I don't know.
Which is hilarious because I'm the one that freaks out in cities, and you're the closed-minded one here.
I'm not talking about being closed-minded.
Oh, that's not what I meant. Don't go too far into that.
I'm just talking about.
I wasn't calling you closed-minded.
Eye-opening experience, if you will. Two things and shit. And two things.
Don't knock off that precious mug.
That's a Stein.
That is
that's the ugliest cup in our house. He has two of them, and it is my life's duty to get rid of them. And
I will say this though,
he won't.
Your coaster shouldn't be smaller than the base of whatever you're drinking out of.
It's a functional choice.
Doesn't fit completely inside.
The cup is dominating the
beer
coaster.
though, like he does, but he's not drinking beer out of it. Like
I've drank beer out of it before.
These are the most hideous things.
I've said enough crazy things during the course of this podcast. I don't need alcohol. Okay?
But I think this about wraps it up for this very interesting episode.
Thank God. Get me the hell out of here.
Who knows? This might go up, this might not. I don't know
either.
I'm devastated over the loss of the mixer.
Oh.
Anyway.
Alrighty then.
I know you guys listen to the show, so you know people like to get their little outros, little sign offs.
He has something. I don't have it.
You don't have a sign off?
I'm Jax. I like jokes.
So, I'm Investigatorcane and I like quotes. So, I'm going to say a quote instead, and that rhymed. That just well.
Oh shit, when you dropping your mixtape?
Yeah, hey.
Hey, you can join my parodies.
So, I was driving around one time, and I saw in Philadelphia, there was a billboard with John Wayne on it. And it said, I don't much like quitters. So that's why I'm going to end. My sign off is going to be the quote, I don't much like quitters, from John Wayne.
This has been KingHulk. Till next week, stay kinky.
Have fun, that's the fun.
So.
It's been like I was trying to find all day, but now the more I'm talking, I
can hear my throat's cracking a little bit. I can hear it in the
take a sip if you need one.
I have. We don't. Do you have? Okay,
you got to keep the pipes nice and moist.
You love that word, moist. that word offends people.
Word moist?
Moist and panties offends people. It's so
panties?
weird. Yeah.
Panties?
There's a girl at work that if you call them panties, this is like a 45-year-old woman. She's like, no, those are underwear. And I'm like, no, they're panties. Men wear underwear.
They're called panties at the store.
Yeah. She's weird.
Bloomers. That's
Bloomers,
what they are.
yeah. That's what
Bloomers.
Yeah.
Bloomers.